Everything you've been told about sex and marriage or long-term relationships has been bullshit. So let's cut through the crap and actually find out the truth so you can have the sex life you desire and deserve. Hi, I'm Dr. Catalina, the Intimacy Doc, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I have been helping individuals and couples have the sex life and relationships they desire for over 20 years. And today, let's talk about all of these myths that we all grew up with, I know I certainly did, and how they can be damaging your sex life and blocking you from all that you desire. So the first one is that, oh, it's just normal for sex to dwindle in marriage, and that of course it's gonna go down. And we actually know there's been several studies really showing that absolutely doesn't have to be the case. That while sexual frequency actually may decrease, the quality of the sex can, and the emotional intimacy in a relationship can absolutely expand in marriage and long-term relationships. But unfortunately, when people have this expectation, it's actually used a little bit as a crutch. Oftentimes, because one, the quality of the sex isn't that great. You've seen my other videos where I talk about the orgasm gap, and because in heterosexual couples, too often a woman isn't being pleasured, her desire is going to go down because the party isn't worth going to. And so that's contributing to why there's this desire discrepancy oftentimes in sexual relationships. But absolutely, sex doesn't have to dwindle over time, whether you're married or in a long-term relationship. Myth number 2 is that sex should always be spontaneous. That's the biggest crock of crap I've ever heard. The reality is that our lives are busy. Our lives are busy. Scheduled sex can be amazing sex. And the fact that a lot of people like to have sex in the morning versus in the evening. Sex doesn't always have to be after a romantic dinner or at night. People have different energy levels and different desires of when they actually are in the mood to have sex or when sex is most comfortable for them. So as you go into a long-term relationship, and particularly if you have kids, scheduling sex doesn't need to kill the romance. And so make sure that you just think about sex and prioritize it in your relationship if you really, really want to maintain and expand that sexual energy between you and your partner. Myth number 3, if your partner loves you, they'll just know what brings you pleasure. Now, this is the biggest crock of crap for both women and men, okay? Unfortunately, we know that sexual communication and actually asserting clearly what your needs, wants, and desires are around pleasure absolutely is predictive of sexual satisfaction and relationship satisfaction. Because when you feel comfortable enough to assert your needs, wants, and desires, then your body can fully surrender. And that's what we all want, right? So absolutely, don't think that, one, if you talk about it, that absolutely means that they're a problem. And if you're getting feedback, try not to take it as, oh my gosh, I'm the worst lover ever, or my partner's not attracted to me. Your body is changing constantly. And so what actually gives you pleasure, you better bet it's gonna change too. So talk about it a lot. Talk about it before, during, after. Talking about it is really fucking juicy and fun. Myth number 4. If your partner wants more sex than you, there must be something wrong in the relationship. And that is absolutely not true. All couples at some point or another are going to experience desire discrepancy. And we do know that desire discrepancy can be a predictor of divorce, and about 30% of couples who experience the desire discrepancy somehow can't figure that out. But you can figure out. This is actually a lot of what I specialize in. Is it's normal, whether it be because of health, stress, work, relationship issues. It makes sense that one partner is just not in the mood as the other, and that things need to be adjusted. It doesn't mean that the whole relationship is a wash. We all go through different seasons in life, and it is absolutely natural for your desire to go up and down. Myth number 5, that sex should just be natural. You shouldn't have to work at it or explore different things, and let alone get sex toys or go to sex classes or anything like that. Biggest bullshit ever. Again, what in life do you not constantly keep on learning about? Whatever you want to continue to get good at, a sport, your job, why would your sex life be any different? Getting support, learning about new strategies, learning about new things about your body, getting education, watching erotica or listening to it, all of those are things that, one, bring novelty and encourage you to explore yourself, giving you more information. So begin to learn, continue to get curious. That's what keeps the juices alive. And myth number 6, that marriage or your commitment to your partner will just solve everything, including sexual concerns. Unfortunately, that's just not true. A choice that you made a long time ago may not be enough of that commitment. That doesn't just absolve you from all of these problems in your relationships. Relationships require consistent intention and consciousness, and yes, effort. It doesn't have to be arduous work. It doesn't. But all relationships, including our intimate ones, require that consciousness and that effort. Your energy gets mine. And it's remembering that with that reciprocity, that's what actually fosters security, strengthens resilience of that relationships. And the more you feel like you can trust your partner to move through challenges, including sexual concerns, man, that's where your body feels more and more safe. It is with more repetitions of these experiences and working through those really challenging times, that's what fosters intimacy and absolutely juicy sex. Myth number 8, very similar to what I said earlier, that sexual desire also decreases with age. That is absolutely doesn't have to be the case. I'm 47 and my sexual desire has only expanded as I age, and being perimenopausal now, oh my goodness, I am learning how to continually expand my sexual energy, and you better bet that is increasing my desire. Again, it is natural for your desire, both women and men, to ebb and flow. It is natural for that to happen, okay? And it does not mean that just because you are getting older or the relationship is going on longer, that just to expect the desire to fade. That doesn't have to be your reality. So think about all of these myths and begin to ask yourself, how much of these myths actually been inhibiting me from having all that I desire? How is it actually impacting me in my relationship and my connection with my body as well as my partners? Get curious, where did you learn these? And how come you're still believing in them if you are, okay? So begin to bust these myths and let me know what you think. Ask me any questions. I'm always here to help. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and join our community. We need to talk more about sex. It's important. It's central to our overall well-being, and we all deserve all that we desire. See you next time. Cheers.